the CCP's fourth plenum has opened, but China's entire news system has gone mute, zero footage, zero dispatches, zero content. Xinhua ran a lone editorial, Xinwen Lianbo, CCTV's main newscast, tiptoed around it, and the outside world is wondering, are the results undecided, are internal struggles deadlocked, or is this a deliberate pace control? From state media's silence to tremors in the military, this meeting without images has unveiled Zhongnanhai's eeriest quiet. Don't miss the next drop, subscribe and hit the bell. Beijing's air feels off. On the third day of the CCP's fourth plenum, the whole of China is unusually quiet. No footage, no sound, no shots of the venue. State media tossed out only a 100-character brief. Xi Jinping delivered a report. That's it? No photos from Xinhua, no front page in People's Daily, and Xinwen Lianbo merely said, in passing, that the international community is paying attention to the fourth plenum. As if the entire meeting didn't exist. Such a fourth plenum is unprecedented. In the past, cameras rolled and mouthpieces spoke in unison. This time it's as if someone pressed the mute button. Is it that the outcome hasn't been set? Or are the infights too fierce? Rumors outside are boiling over, tremors in the military, splits in the propaganda apparatus, the core report stuck in gridlock. This silent meeting is becoming Beijing's most terrifying sound. A meeting with no images, news with no content. If not for that 100-odd character news flash, many people would hardly feel that the CCP's fourth plenum had really begun. On October 20th, the first day of the session, past practice would dictate a mouthpieces in unison, lavish images and text, high-profile rollout. Xinhua would certainly issue a long dispatch, People's Daily would run a front-page photo spread, CCTV's Xinwen Lianbo would do a special segment, with wide shots of the venue, close-ups, leader cutaways, and excerpts of key phrases, run through the whole process and the outside world could at least sketch an outline. But this year did the exact opposite. Xinhua and People's Daily put out only an ultra-brief notice, essentially saying, the meeting opened, the CCP's top leader Xi Jinping delivered a work report and explained the proposals for the 15th five-year plan. No photos, no excerpts, no venue shots, as if every decipherable detail were stripped out, leaving only a "we held a meeting" notice. What's subtler is Xinwen Lianbo. Common sense says a plenary of this level should squeeze into the first half of the program and get heavy coverage. Instead, it gently mentions in the international news segment that the international community is paying attention to the fourth plenum, which is to say, it shifted the lens to how others see us, rather than what we are doing. Such handling is rare and inevitably invites speculation. Either the footage isn't suitable for broadcast, or conclusions aren't settled, or there's still tug-of-war internally, so it's unwise to set the tone too early. Xinhua did publish a long editorial that day. The title read inspiringly enough, and the big frame was under the leadership of so-and-so as the core, how the 15th five-year plan will ensure decisive progress in modernization. Editorials are not unimportant, but seasoned readers know, when there's real substance, it usually comes as a package, images plus info points plus editorial. An editorial without images often suggests the main course isn't ready, a bowl of hot soup is served first to warm things up. What's more, the piece attributes recent economic and social achievements heavily to the core leadership and the correct line, which in political parlance is called stabilizing the field, steady the mood, steady expectations, steady the ranks. The fuller the praise, the more it sounds like preemptively plugging leaks. Put these signals together, and it looks like three deliberate lows. Low visuals, zero photos, zero venue shots, reducing the outside world's frame-by-frame reading of people, lineups, and atmosphere. Low information, under 100 characters, avoiding any detail that could be extrapolated. Low placement, downgrading what should be a top headline to the margins of Xinwen Lianbo. Why this light touch? 3 interpretations. First, the outcome hasn't congealed, the core text, personnel lists, or wording are still being polished and not ready for release. Second, internal pressure is high, available footage or content isn't suitable for public view, lest it be overinterpreted. Third, deliberate pacing, push attention toward the end, using the final day's communique to set the tone in one go, reducing mid-course noise and variables. Put plainly, this isn't an absence of information, it's a choice of information. At a highly sensitive moment, choosing no images, no material, no emotion is equivalent to pressing mute on the public narrative. Silence itself is a signal, don't rush, hold your judgment, the real period may only appear on that final communique. But the modern public sphere is pragmatic, when officialdom reduces discussion-ready material, the public will plug the gaps with speculation. That explains why, on the same day, various flavors of spoilers and rumors surged markedly. From a communications perspective, extreme minimalism inevitably breeds informal discourse. Give only a headline, and people will fill in the content and ending themselves. This whisper-quiet handling paradoxically heightens attention. What to watch next? Two things. First, whether state media's tempo suddenly ramps up, with last-minute long dispatches or footage. Second, the final day communique's length, density of phrasing, and what it avoids. These details often carry more information than slogans. Silence betrays a split. Although state media appears silent on the surface, in reality the entire propaganda system is already out of tune. Right before and after the plenum opened, Xinhua pushed out 2 long pieces overnight, one heaping praise on the core throughout, another trumpeting historic achievements during the 14th five-year plan under Xi Jinping's leadership, mentioning Xi's name more than 20 times. Yet on that very night, China's 4 major commercial portals, Sina, Sohu, NetEase, and Phoenix, conspicuously avoided the 3 characters Xi Jinping. This rare contrast is like different notes within the same band. The main melody still sings hymns, but the accompaniment has gone quiet. In a propaganda system famed for a unified line, such discord is itself a sign of power imbalance. If Xinhua's pieces are patching the stage, the portal's silence looks more like passive resistance, formal unity in official propaganda with cracks underneath. Meanwhile, this silence plus split phenomenon aligns neatly with upheaval in the military. 3 days before the plenum, 9 full generals, including Central Military Commission Vice Chairman He Weidong and Miao Hua, were officially expelled from the party. These 9 were personally chosen and promoted by Xi Jinping. Some were even fast-tracked favorites. That leaves the CMC with only Zhang Youxia, Lu Xinli, and Zhang Xingmin, an almost broken chain of command. Against this backdrop, silence is no longer just a propaganda tactic but a stress response. The 4th plenum is indeed being held, but it resembles more a meeting trying to keep order under the barrel of a gun. There are no images for the outside world because the power map behind the cameras is being violently redrawn. Rumors run wild, overseas forums pry open the plenum's vacuum. The 4th plenum has been underway for 3 days, and a bulletin should be out today, yet spoilers and rumors still rage outside. Some say Xi Jinping will hand over military command, others think the early handling of the 9 generals was a first move by anti-Xi forces, some even assert there will be unexpected personnel earthquakes, changing the core. Scholar Wu Zuolai believes rumors take shape and spread because they have become a form of popular resistance. He said this at the China Forum, held in Los Angeles on October 18, organized by the Dialogue China think tank and the June 4 Memorial Museum, and co-sponsored by the Liberty Bell Foundation, the China Democracy Party's United Headquarters, and the All Committee's LA branch. The forum hosted 3 panels, the second focused on the 4th plenum and China's future situation. Host Wu Zuolai argued that the proliferation of rumors around the plenum stems from the CCP's extreme opacity. Quoting French scholar Jean-Noël Capfer's book Rumors, he said that in closed societies, rumor is a weapon. Whether true or false, these rumors all point to one phenomenon: they are a form of resistance, a culture. Their very existence vilifies the CCP's power structure. In other words, in a system that disallows people to speak the truth, rumor becomes the ordinary person's press release. Current affairs commentator Zheng Xuguang argues that opaque politics inevitably breeds rumor. The spread of rumors is directly related to the CCP's underground party style. He pointed out that the 4th plenum should have been held in 2024 but was inexplicably postponed for a year. Just before it opened, 9 full generals, including a CMC vice chair personally elevated by Xi, were expelled, an extremely rare shock in party history. Zheng said, major decisions are never presented openly, but hashed out before the meeting. Because of this, society can only rely on guessing. Regarding the 9 generals, he noted 2 narratives. One says it was the anti-Xi faction's move, another says it was Xi's own purge. Zheng leans toward the latter. He had to remove them, even if he didn't want to. But doing so severely unbalanced the political forces, inadvertently concentrating power in Zhang Youxia's hands. He likened the situation to Xi developing a psychological shadow akin to Mao's toward Lin Biao, indicating the political scene has entered a state of extreme uncertainty. Independent commentator Wu Jianmin observed that among the 9 fallen generals, many hail from Xi's own elite unit, the 31st Group Army. He believes Xi's move is cutting off his own limbs, reflecting extreme insecurity and a Stalin-like end-times mindset. Wu said, he trusts no one anymore, not even his closest subordinates. Anyone could be a Lin Biao beside his pillow. He went further. In communist states, such purges often occur before a transfer or collapse of power. Until the lid is lifted, you don't know who is anti-Xi, but it's certainly those closest to him, holding critical levers. Writer Su Xiaokong argued that the flood of rumors accompanying the plenum precisely shows the regime has sunk into a deep crisis. We cannot know the truth, but we can be sure Chinese politics has reached a very dangerous edge. He stressed he doesn't care who's up or down, but when China can realize constitutionalism and civil liberties. Former Hong Kong journalist Ching Xiang, took a rule of law angle, saying the CCP's institutionalized lying is the root that breeds rumor. He gave an example. The PRC promulgated its constitution in 1954, yet the next year the Supreme Court ordered that the constitution may not be cited in trials, rendering it a dead letter. Hong Kong followed a similar path. In the past, the Court of Final Appeal could defend freedom and democracy under the Basic Law, Hong Kong's de facto constitution, but after the National Security Law, the NPC stipulated the CFA has no power of judicial review over NSL cases. Ching argued that without a genuine rule of law environment, all those constitutional clauses are just decoration. In such a system, opacity is the biggest rumor. From the 9 generals being expelled to rumor politics. Participants agreed, the rumor explosion around this plenum isn't only due to the internet's viral mechanics, it's because the political system deliberately manufactured an information vacuum. When truth is compressed into a 100-character brief and reporters are kept out of the venue, rumors grow automatically. As one scholar put it, in a system that won't tell the truth, rumor is the people's press release. In a sense, the CCP's 4th plenum is not just an internal power conclave, it is also an imagined politics for the society outside. The plenum isn't over yet, but the air is already thick with conclusions. Officials don't speak, the public does. Media don't report, social platforms write the script. The real problem isn't too many rumors, but too little truth. From state media's abnormally low profile to the rolling military purges to the swelling debates outside, the collage that emerges is more than a political meeting snapshot, it is a psychological cross-section of the system. When power must rely on mute to maintain stability, when truth is reduced to a 100-character brief and an editorial hammering the core and stability, it means instability already exists. Rumors may not be true, but they reveal genuine anxiety. Silence may not be stability, often it's chaos in another form. When information is compressed to the minimum, every detail, every silence, every rumor, becomes part of a new narrative. The real communiqué may indeed appear today, but for the outside world, this meeting without images has already penned its own footnote. It shows not only who holds power, but how this system strives to look as if it still does.